5,995 pounds, Wildwood 272 bunkhouse with mini outside kitchen coming in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And it is not in perfect condition. It has had a leak. We're going to look at that in just a second. And one of the things I want you to take away from all this is if this isn't the camper for you because of that, that's fine. That's why we go out of our way to accurately and fairly represent our inventory here at Haylett RV, so you know exactly what you're getting for your dollar and exactly what you're walking into before you drive here from 4 hours away. And this is what's nice about doing business with a decent place like Haylett RV, guys. Because if you look up here, you really can't see or this camper ever had a problem. So if we were a shifty kind of place, we could try to hide this from you, and chances are somebody would fall into that trap. Somebody who doesn't know any better, someone who would assume a dealer would go out of their way to shoot them straight. Unfortunately, not all of them do, and I'm not saying that every dealer other than Haylett RV is bad. I'm saying that you just have to be careful. Because if you look up here, you can easily see the little crinkly, wrinkly spots in that front wall panel. What caused that is where the roof meets that front nose bend is called the termination strip. And unfortunately, the seal up there failed. And there was some water penetration in the RV. Now, we're not hiding that. Now, looking up there, it looks like whatever had happened, the previous owners went through and put a lot of Dicor up there to stop that, which is a great material. The point is, though, that it has occurred. Now, we take items like that into account when we price a used RV here at Haylett RV, and we always try to be fair. That's why we're going out of our way to show you what the camper is and what it's not. So if you're still with us, what that means is that you understand what this camper is and what it's not. And, you know, you'd want to look at it in person, and for the right money, you'd consider taking it home. So let's see if it's still the right one for you. One of the things I like to do is also show campers closed. Now you can see how this sofa, when the slide out is closed, comes right up to this big peninsula countertop. However, they left you just enough room. You can do a little bit of that sideways travel trailer two-step. You can get back to the fridge. You can pack the fridge up. And if you really, really needed to on the road, you could get back here. You could sit at the dinette and have a quick in-transit meal. You are not going to have access to the bunkhouse, but you know, for going down the road and making a quick food stop or just stretch your leg stop, this one's not too bad. Now, as we go through here, keep in mind also, this is absolutely entry-level, starter class grade camper. This was never designed to be like retirement grade. This is designed to be something where if you want a less expensive camper because you don't want to buy a big expensive camper so that your kids can come through and bang it up and ding it up, and then you want to trade it out later for the couple's, you know, fifth wheel of your dreams here at Haylett RV, well, that's kind of who this is designed for. Now, it does everything it needs to. It just doesn't do anything more than that. Like, we still have central air. We still have power awning. It actually also has power jacks and a power tongue jack. So, you know, it does have some easy comfort features, but it's not an over-the-top brand of camper. And you'll see a couple examples of that as we go through here. Now, the sofa, if you need be, can fold down into an extra little sleeper, as can the bench dinette over here, which does have storage below. Now, the slide system is self-adjusting, and it's above the floor. And those words may not mean much to you, but what it means to you in terms of actual function is that your main deck of the RV, at least, can be carpetless. So, as the kids come and go with dirt on their shoes, again, this is a camper designed to just let the family run amok, you know, basically. There's not floor vents for them to step on or break or track dirt through it. The flip side to that is that it does mean that this RV has a little bit reduced heating efficiency, but this is not intended to be a winter camper. So I think that's fine. I don't think that that's a negative against this camper. I think it's an intelligent design standpoint. Also, if you get in here in the bathroom, this is kind of a classic Fleetwood RV thing, where if you look at it, it looks at a glance like they have shower surround paneling in here. They don't, actually. What they did is they switched to a white wallpaper when you get into the shower. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, at a glance, you're going to be, oh man, they went cheaper. They did. They purposely went less expensive here, but there's nothing wrong with it if you know what you're walking into. All you have to do here, after you take a shower, you take your towel, you wipe down the walls. There have been people who have been camping for many, many years with showers like this. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It'll get you through just fine. Now, they didn't put a skylight in here, but once again, this is not designed to be the super-duper fancy pants camper. This is designed to be basic, effective, just the facts, man. That's all this is all thriller, no filler. One thing they did very well, though, I like this a lot, because you figure a private bunkhouse, we need good bunk space, is they did a good job here. Now, the bunk that we're looking at right here, that can actually fold up out of the way. But meanwhile, if you don't want to do that, you actually have like an 8-foot long bunk back here, the way that the bunks kind of L together. Now, you've got a traditional sort of 2 single bunks on this side, and there's a miniature outside kitchen under that. Now, on a rainy day, what you can do is you've got this little sofa arrangement right here, and we do have a sliding privacy door. The kids can kind of have their own little room, and I call that mom and dad's sanity room. So the kids have a sofa that could obviously fold down into a sleeper, and then you can fold this overhead bed up out of the way. Now, kind of centralized here, whether it's a pantry, linen cabinet, kids storage, we do have the extra storage closet here. But if I sneak into the bunkhouse real fast, you're going to see that they have their own storage space in here as well. One of the differences that you'll see between like the Salems and Wildwoods, which are the exact same camper, by the way, and something like the Cherokees that we have here at Haylett RV, which is another Forest River travel trailer, so it's very easy to kind of lump them together, is this actually has pressboard cabinet doors right here, whereas a Cherokee will actually have hardwood cabinet doors. It's not a major thing. There's nothing wrong with this style of cabinet construction. It's just that's the difference in the price point. If you're trying to be very price sensitive about your purchase, then this is the kind of camper you can look at. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, provided you stay on top of your routine care, maintenance, and upkeep. A handy little shoe garage right by the door. I call that a clutter cutter, because it keeps the the pile of shoes by the door down to a minimum. The kitchenette over here, they went kind of minimal, but it's effective. That's what this camper is designed to be, is minimal but effective. Where they did something nice, though, is they did go with an extra tall overhead cabinet. So, and there is an extra deep shelf in there as well, so you can put some decent storage in here. The entertainment complement in this is very basic, because, once again, it's a base level camper, and that makes sense. So if you wanted to throw a TV in here, you could. It looks like the previous owners did, but typically a camper like this won't tend to include a TV from the factory. As we slide up front here, we do have sliding bedroom privacy doors, by the way. So both your bedroom and your bunkhouses do have privacy doors. Now, this is a short camp queen. However, they left you plenty of room. If you wanted to expand this into a true queen, you could, and still walk around it. They actually went with an extra long bedroom here, which is uncommon, because not everyone's, a little bit shorter. Some people are less gravity friendly, and some people are taller like me, and they want the ability to put a bigger bed in. Well, this is a camper that could still, suit and accommodate you for something like that. Now, overall, outside here, she don't look too awful bad. I don't see any crazy like sun fade. It does look like the front tire here, they may have had a flat, but they replaced the original factory trailer tire with a nice Goodyear. So, I mean, when these folks needed something, they did a good job of it. Kind of like I said, that front termination strip, when that had a leak, they went through and they put a heck of a glob of sealant on it to make sure that wasn't going to continue. We do have, I mentioned it inside, but we have power awning, we have remote controlled power awning, and power corner stabilizer jacks, and a power tongue jack up front. So there's no manual cranking required on this whatsoever, which is a darn handy thing. Now, everything out here, pretty simple, pretty basic, but again, simple, basic, and effective was the goal behind this camper. And this is a very successful branded camper for that reason, because they are very good at being simple, basic, and effective. The spare tire back here, this has definitely seen some use. This is very oddly worn. I'm not really sure what happened here, but that is something you may want to plan on replacing. And a quick note, you see the grill on the bumper. At the time of this filming, we don't yet own this camper. The folks simply dropped it off here, and they're going to complete their sale in just short of a week's time. So I'm actually getting ahead of the game here. That grill will not be included with this camper. That is something that they purchased aftermarket, and they're going to take with them into their new RV. So I just want to make that very clear. However, the remainder of the RV should be included. We've got our handy little outside mini kitchenette right here, and we've got Dad's medicine cabinet. And I do like, anytime I see the more weather-resistant rolled steel countertops on an RV, that is a handy little feature right there. Because, you know, if it sticks out of the camper, it's more inclined on a slightly rainy, drizzly day, anything, to be exposed to a little bit of water. So this is going to be a little more weather-resistant that way. We've got the dog dish style bowl. Again, not fancy, but effective. It gets the job done. Power awning again, push the button, it'll crank right out. And it's also an easy tilt awning that it only takes about 2 fingers to crank that sucker down. Now, you might notice how this is a 2-step instead of a 3-step entry. It's because this, the lighter weight nature of this camper allows them to actually ride on a little bit shorter, smaller chassis. So the whole thing rides lower, which means it has a lower center of gravity and a little bit reduced overall exterior height and clearance, which is very nice for people who like to, you know, kind of go out of the parks a little bit, or simply don't want to have to worry about a tree branch at a park. It's a little less bothersome in this instance. Again, it's got its points. It's got its glitches. I think that we've made those very clear to you as we went through. But it's a fine camper. You know, if what you want to do, guys, is you want to, this would be a great option for a first timer, or for a very casual type camper. Like, listen, we only go out once or twice a year. I don't want to spend top dollar on something I'm only going to use once or twice a year. Great. It's not perfect, but it'll work. It's perfectly functional. There's a difference between perfect condition and perfectly functional. And this one is perfectly functional. So, whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, or everything in between, we only do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.